So in this lesson, we're going to show you a little bit about how to navigate your way around history and context. You may be wondering why I've chosen history and context. Well, if we look at the annex and we scroll down to our religion project, you'll see that we have the navigating the databases. We've given you a nice little cheat sheet showing you which databases you should use depending on which event in history you're looking at. So you'll see that history and context almost works for every single one of them, right? So here we have some slides that walk you through the initial steps on how to get them, but you need 5 databases, right? So here are 6 that I recommend for this project. And so now we're going to focus on this first one, history and context. Now, if you remember from what we just showed you, the best way to get to those databases is you put anything at all in this space. I tend to put in period. And then once you get to this landing screen, you may be prompted to sign in with your school email. Obviously do that because otherwise you're going to get kicked out. You're going to get a 404 message. So we're waiting for it to sign in with my Google account for school. And I'm going to scroll down. This is an alphabetical list to history and context, world history. And the first thing I should do when I get here is to sign in with Google. And I'm going to look here for the Great Schism. That's one of the topics. And I love autocomplete because already it's told us something about the Great Schism. So let's say I'm coming into this knowing absolutely nothing. I'm going to click on the Great Schism. Now, if I know absolutely nothing, there's something you probably should be aware of, and that is that I need to think about where I am in the research process. So I am probably, if I don't know anything, I'm in this wonder phase. I wonder what the Great Schism is. Well, it says right here in letters, in white letters, that you should be looking for reference materials. And one of the reasons I like this database is because right off the bat, it gives you a menu of what kinds of sources you have, and reference is right here. So I really like this. So one of the things you can tell based on the order of the articles is that I've learned one thing already, that the Great Schism happened in 1054. The other thing I've learned is that it's probably related to Catholicism or certainly Christianity, right? So let's take a look at the Great Schism. That's our first reference article. And I find that the closer it is to the topic, probably the broader and more of an overview it's going to be about the whole thing. So it's going to explain the who, what, why, where, and when, right? So that's what we want to know. A couple of things I should point out about here is if you want to cite this source, you can do so by clicking on that cite button, and you can copy, select, and you can copy that and paste it into your document. But and you can also send it directly to Google Drive, which is kind of helpful, but we've got some other things coming down the pike that might make it more useful. You can have your article read to you and listen. You can change the font size, you can translate. Those are all excellent tools. You also can send it directly to Google Drive, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. One of the things I really love about this is it gives you the key facts. This is packed with search terms that you should really hang on to. So it tells you how the Great Schism played out all over the world, key figures, religious leaders, then you go into background, the event, global effect, and then you have a citation at the very bottom, super helpful, and additional websites you can visit. All really helpful stuff. Not only that, but on the right-hand side, you have additional additional articles that may be helpful. You can click View All Related Articles, and you'll see that there are even more at the bottom. You have related subjects in case you want to sort of scoot into some other very closely related subject, and you also have the background, basically the contents of this article. So one of the things you can do is you can click on Google Drive, and it's going to send that article to Google Drive. So watch what happens here. Did you see that? It just created the folder, an orange folder called Gale in Context over here in your Google Drive. And guess what's in that folder? Your Great Schism article. And if I open it, it looks like a PDF, and you don't really want to keep it that way. You want to make it a Google Doc. And now the article has exported directly into your Google Drive into its own special folder, and it has all of the things you need, including those big key ideas, how it plays out around the world. You have your background, you have the event itself, you have the global effect, and at the bottom you have your source citation. Not bad. Now you can come here, you can annotate, you can share it with your classmates, you can do all kinds of great things with it, you can make comments. So that is global history in context.